of Toni Morrison's novel, wherein the mother actually kills them. She doesn't, of course, want her children not to live. She doesn't want them to live under the conditions of slavery. She undergoes an incredible period in her life after her grandmother abandons her upon finding out about her first pregnancy, which of course she had no control over. And her grandmother had been her shining light, her source of nurture, because her mother was dead, her father was dead, and when her grandmother turned her out for being pregnant, she was lost for a while. My students would often say, I just don't believe this story. No grown woman with two children would spend 7 years in an attic living like a baby, unable to speak, having her grandmother nurture her.
And that was her condition, huh?
That was her condition. Again, I look towards psychoanalytic theory. Again, no friend of black people in its history. But the insights, again, in terms of the psyche, are so important. What I helped explain to them was this young woman's grandmother, her maternal figure, could not accept the reality of her own slavery. Therefore, she told her, slavery is God's will. So we simply must live under the will
of God.
When her son escaped to the north, she grieved as though he had died. There wasn't enough progression in her mind to be happy for him. At one point, the money that she was saving, conversely, for her children's freedom, $300, was an amount that she loaned to her mistress so that the mistress could buy a pair of candelabra. The students, again, this cannot be true. And I've used this analogy before. We would study slave narratives, and the slave was sent by the master. The slave was sent by the master to go across town to pick up a suit from the cleaners. And the students incredulously would ask, well, why didn't he just run away then? And I would answer them, if you can't imagine a thing, then you can't do it.
Good.
If you can't imagine freedom, like the bird in the cage once the door is open, like the elephant whose tether is no longer there. If you cannot imagine what it means to be free, then you can't.